Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, I just disassembled this in the back of the truck. Ended up, this bearing here, it was about to go. None of them was spun. All the rods that weren't terrible, they had trash through them. But there was one rod, there was one main bearing. Let me see if I can find it. That right there. It had some heat in it. You can look at the crank. The crank is it could be actually fixed. I had that repaired a long time ago. I had it welded up or whatnot, and that's why it's just caught there. But that bearing down there, it definitely was about to eat it. So I got the rod and pistols in there. I got them cleaned up. All that air. Got my new crankshaft. It's balanced. I got my rod, my mains right. Well, right there. Sorry. In that box. So we're gonna clean all this crap up and put it back together. I'm gonna pull these oil plugs out. That's what I was going to get my Allen head when I thought about recording some. I'm gonna pull the oil plugs out so we can come in here and wash out all the oil galleys real good. I'm gonna put oven cleaner on, clean all of it out, get all the oil out of it, all the trash and debris out of it. Clean it up, we're gonna put it back together today. Man, how pretty that thing is. I ended up having to go through and fix a stud in the block or whatever. It pulled a main stud out. So now I got to go through. I done plastic gauged everything, if you can tell. Well, looks like right there. I plastic gauged everything to make sure my clearances are right. Right there they are. All of them look good. This one was a little bit more. This one was about, I can't even remember, 5 thou maybe. I don't remember, but they're all good. They're all, none of them's too tight. They're all within right where I need to be at, so we're good on that. So I'm gonna go back there and clean all this plastic gauge off real quick, lube everything up, start putting it together. All right, well, everything plastic gauged out real good. Crankshaft feels real good. So I gotta check my end play back and forth. I gotta put my outer bolts in it, torque them down, and then we'll move on to the rods and pistons. There she is. 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, 5, or 1, 3, 5, 8 on this side. So we are we're good. Pistons all back down in it. Timing set's already on it. Got it up on top dead center, so I put my cam gear on it, chain it, put my cam and all in it. I'll be ready to put it back together. So probably gonna paint this old ugly thing this time. Make it look a little better than what it does. Right now, me and Caden done got this thing in the chair. 7:30 at night. I'm gonna start cleaning up the oil pan on it, heads on it, get it stuck in tonight. Well, we decided on the color. Caden said it's bright. So I paint this little thing Chevrolet on. We'll see if it brings us some good luck, hopefully. Got Caden over here running the studs down. I've done torqued the main studs here. I got the main studs, the inside, the outside, the big studs, the important ones. I gotta go back and tighten up the small ones, put push rods in it, rocker arms. I gotta torque that head on complete. But it's getting there. What you think, Caden? We'll get this thing in tonight. You getting tired? About 9:30 right now. He's getting tired. Look at him. We need some drink up in here. Y'all send us some drink. What you think? You getting there? He don't like running them studs in right there. Because the way I do it, so when I take them loose, I crack them like that and back them off just barely, and then I screw the studs out. I don't go through and take the washers and all off them. I just screw the studs out, make it easier, and that way you're almost down there when you tighten them up, but it just makes it a pain in the butt what he's doing like he's doing it. All right, there you go. It's about 10:30 at night. She's all buttoned up. Hope I don't trip over my manifold and break my neck. We're gonna put we're gonna lift it up, throw the diaper on. We're gonna set it in tonight real quick. We might come back tomorrow and finish it up. I might not be in a hurry. I'm getting tired, ready to take a bath. But we're definitely gonna get it set in and get some bell bolts in it. Move, don't bounce it. When you go to jack it at the very bottom, slow down towards the bottom. That way it don't spring and bounce ain't hard on the bolts. ready to set this thing in. All right, so Saturday. What time is it, Caden? You think? 12 o'clock? Me and Caden back down here working. I stuck the wiring harness. I laid it out on it. I laid the fuel lines out. So now we're going to stick the intake. Yes, 12 o'clock. So we're going to stick the intake on it. And now once we get the intake on it, then we can start hooking up our connections. We just want to make sure there's nothing on either side that can get stuck under the intake. And now's the time. Let's get the intake up on it. And then we'll go through and we'll pull the lines out. Even before we bolt the intake down, we'll just stick the intake up on it. And then we'll go through and get the bolts where they need to be. We'll take the wiring harness, plug it all up, get everything plugged up, everything hooked up, and then we'll tighten the bolts up. Well, Caden's putting water in it. We got it together. Everything should be tight. I think I got all my stuff tight. What you think, Caden?
I don't know.
Fixing to fire this thing up, make sure it has oil pressure, then we're going to let Caden drive it from here down to the house. What you think about that, Caden? If you going to let the power get away from you, what you think?
I'll charger outrun this thing.
We're going to let Caden drive this thing down to the house for me. That boy's agreeing on it. Look at him. Let it run for a minute. Let it run. Let it run. Let it cool down. Cool down a little bit. Y'all check this out. John done went through and sold his little cute little single cylinder with the turbo on it and all. Done put him a Kawasaki motor on this thing. Look at that 650. Thing is sweet. He's got all the plastics and all to go back on it. He's just out test riding it today just to make sure everything's good on it. Look how clean everything is. He cleaned the old motor up. Everything looks nice and neat. Got the wiring harness cleaned up on it, ECU and all. Get it. Even put him a little Honda thing on it to make it look, because that motor don't have no kind of Kawasaki signs on it or whatever, but like you said, it's gonna be bad.